dun, dun, dun.
Guys, if you're watching this on youtube.com/boldly, you might be a little confused because we are not in our normal room. We are in a room across from our normal room, just spicing things up, switching things up.
Why are we doing that, Kels?
Well, listen, I didn't feel like recording the podcast yesterday.
Why, Kels?
I was a little tired.
Why, Kels?
Here's the thing. I wasn't hungover because of the Super Bowl.
I was.
If that's what you're insinuating.
I 100% was. I woke up every hour. Sunday night, I woke up every hour to go to the bathroom. And then finally, at 5:30 in the morning, I finally had that beer poop. And everybody, I mean.
Sweet beer poops.
Honest to God, it felt like it was beautiful. It was like I just shit out every piece of poison that's ever been inside of me.
I played 7 rounds of beer pong. My body is just like viscerally reacting to the thought of it.
Who were you rooting for?
Gonna be honest, green's my favorite color. And I know you're from Philly.
I'm not from Philly.
I 100% was rooting for my girl Kate's hometown.
Jesus Christ.
Philadelphia.
I'm
Pennsylvania.
not from Philadelphia.
Let's go Birds.
I'm from...
I'm
not
That's
from
what
there.
they do, right?
I feel like it is... it takes a certain amount of strength and know-how, and you wear a certain badge of honor if you made it through Philadelphia, and I didn't.
Listen.
I went to college there. It is not the same. It's like when someone from Minnesota goes to NYU and they're like, I am part of the city now. And it's like, I'm not.
I don't get that reference. But you know why I do like the Eagles is my favorite? Because Silver Linings Playbook is my favorite movie.
Did you see Bradley Coop?
Fucking did.
Young Coop was at the show. We should watch that. I love that movie.
I literally watched it like 2 weeks ago on the plane. If you guys haven't seen Silver Linings Playbook, go.
My old teacher was in it. She plays Jennifer Lawrence's mom, Cheryl.
Oh, she's in
the window when they walk past.
That's good.
I also wanted the Eagles to win, because I do love Philadelphia, even though it's not my hometown.
It is.
And oh my god. And then also fuck the Patriots, dude.
Yeah, I don't even know much about the whole history.
I know that what's his face is a big Trump dude. Oh, I fucking forgot a hair tie.
Oh shit! I wish I had one for you. Anyways, point is that did you know 14 million people call out of work the day after the Super Bowl?
I heard about that.
Sick Bowl Monday. What do they call it? Super sick Monday?
Yeah, something like that.
And I didn't call it sick out of work. I still worked. I just didn't want to do the podcast. I didn't have any energy. I was like...
Yeah, we learned last... We cut... You guys don't even know.
Ooh, we cut.
We cut like 40 minutes last week because we were just... dragging our feet in the sand.
The podcast, we actually grew a lot of listeners from last week's episode. I think it was a really good one with Grace. It was lovely.
Luckily we cut out all the dead air.
Yeah, speaking of not coming into work yesterday, well, I did. I have to show you something.
This is a full-blown surprise.
And I'm going to have to cut some of it because my titties are going to show.
You got a tattoo.
What if I did?
I wanted to get one on the Super Bowl night. Nyla and I got really drunk, and I was like, let's get tattoos right now.
That is a terrible idea. Young listeners, do not go get tattoos when you're drunk, because then they'll end up looking like this.
It's just a body. Oh, yeah.
You can't see it if you're only listening,
but
I have a smeared tattoo.
Let's see your
Okay, it's not a tattoo.
Oh,
okay.
You got your nipples pierced?
No, I wish.
You got...
Just wait. You're never going to guess what this is. Okay, close your eyes.
Spray painted on your back. The fuck is that? Oh, an allergy test.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's what I went and did yesterday. And so there's what? Like, I think 32.
Her back looks like an old-fashioned keyboard. Like a light switch panel.
Yeah, so I literally am... Everything on my body is on fire right now. Like, my chin is itching, my chest is red, my back is red. Like, I don't know if I'm allergic to anything they actually tested on me or if it's the tape.
Oh.
I think I might be allergic to the adhesive.
Damn,
but it's for a video here where they're testing all my makeup products plus like 40 different allergens that are found in like most makeup. But I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to all of them. So that's why I feel kind of not great. Everything itches and my back feels like there's 1,000 fire ants on them.
You handle pain so well. You handle discomfort in a way. If I stub my toe, everyone knows about it later that day.
But I feel like, especially with someone with chronic pain, like I feel like I talk about it all the time or that I complain about it all the time. I feel like it's the only thought going through my brain always.
No.
Oh. Good to know.
I mean, maybe that's how you feel, but that's not... I don't feel that you talk about it like that.
Oh, that's good to know because it feels like the only thing on my mind always. So sorry if I keep itching my titties. Also, you did not come hang out with me and my mom this weekend. My mom was in town. You didn't come hang.
I FaceTimed you guys. That was nice of me.
That was nice of me. We FaceTime all the time.
I know. Here's the thing. Okay. Had a bit of a breakthrough. Therapy. As Oprah would call it, an aha moment. And...
Why are you screaming at our listeners?
So I was in therapy and I was like, why don't I do any of this shit? I want to do this stuff I want to do and I want to clean this and I want to hang up this and I want to redo that. And she was like, that all sounds like work. And I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. And then she was like, what do you do just strictly for fun?
I don't know.
And guess what? Not a goddamn thing. I don't have a thing that I do just for fun. So on Saturday, I was already hungover from Friday. So after therapy, I just went home and had to go to sleep. Because then Saturday night I was going out again. It was a bender of a weekend, let me tell you.
Yeah, but you know...
I had a blast.
Yeah, I think those need to happen. Like, it was our friend / alumni BuzzFeeders...
The young Chris
Reineker's 30th birthday. He had tacos and micheladas. It was great. Everyone was really drunk. I half smoked a cigarette and then realized I don't smoke cigarettes anymore.
We split it.
Oh, yeah. See, a true friend. And then...
Someone was an asshole to me, but I don't know if I was drunk and I made them an asshole to me or if they were just
you
an asshole
looked fucking hot, too.
Oh,
you were killing the outfit game.
This guy was like, I guess he saw me at a show before, and when I entered, like, he was like, oh, I saw you at this show before. I was like, oh, damn it, I bombed it. Like, I was doing stand-up, but I fully bombed. And I was like, I bombed, and I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, and that was my first impression of you. And then I was like, what the fuck? Someone give me a microphone right now. Fuck this guy. Like, I just got real mad at him.
I didn't see it at all. What I saw was you flirting up a storm, just bopping around groups of people.
I was trying, and I mean, I was like throwing out the lines, and nobody was biting.
Well, you were also really drunk, and I feel like guys are like, I could pursue this, and then I'd end up looking like a creep.
Yeah. I had so much fun. You know what I did? You know what I learned how to do? A thing I learned? Great thing?
Tell me.
Ready to hear it?
You ready?
Oh, you ready to hear it?
Tell me!
Okay, I lost my train of thought, so I was buying myself more time.
It's okay. I was farting the entire time, so I'm going to cut all of that out. It is bad.
Wait, is it? I destroyed your bathroom. I like the smell of farts. Last week, I went over to Kelsey's and I farted. I had to poop, but it wasn't coming out, and I farted in it.
Oh my God!
It actually was like a thick.
It was like 3 hours that it was still there, and I walked back into the bathroom, and it was still there.
I leave a mark, baby.
Yeah, make your mark on history. Her story.
Oh boy. Bye, last remaining male listeners.
Anyways.
Okay, so
what's the thing you learned how to do?
When we got food after we were drinking, we were like, let's go get like shitty food, right? So I got food, and then guess what I goddamn did? I ordered breakfast for the next morning.
What?
To go. So I had that. So I had my food, and then I had a nice. In retrospect, or if you're going to order a bagel sandwich, order it deconstructed so that it's not soggy when you get it. But one quick little painless lesson learned.
I'm not going to lie to you. I got a shit so bad.
Do we have to pause?
Can we pause just so I can?
Oh my God.
Should I go now?
Well, I feel myself getting there. We could wait and then just poop. Unless it'll make you... Okay.
Okay, let's just pause.
Pause. Kelsey doesn't know this, but I just started recording again because she's a laser pooper. And she will be back in the time that would take a normal human being to pee. She'll cut this, but I did also fart while she was gone. Here she comes. I turned it all back on. And I told them how you were a laser pooper.
I am a laser pooper. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what it is right now. It's that Blue Apron.
Oh, right.
One of our lovely sponsors. I'm so thankful that they sponsor us because I got this is not an ad. It may be later. I don't know. But I just wanted to say that I made the best fucking meal last night. It was steak with mashed potatoes and carrots. Very simple, but it was so fucking good. Had this soy ketchup glaze. But boy, did it make me poop just now.
Because that's fresh food, baby. Remember I said, Kelsey's mom once took us out to a really nice restaurant. We had a lot of cheese and a lot of fresh food. Everything was like fresh and like pure food. And my body, my Kraft singles / like knockoff Lunchables body is like...
You don't have a Lunchable's body.
T-4 hours. I woke up, like, I'm telling you, I was laying down and I shot up as though, like, I was like, God! I ran to the bathroom. And I mean, for, like, maybe a solid hour, it was just, again, rockets out of my butt.
My least favorite kind of poop is the kind that is, like, rabbit pellets, which is, like,
I never rabbit pellet, but sometimes it's looser than it should be.
Gross.
Also, we should start saying nuts again.
Instead of nuts.
Nuts, like, nuts. And then also, ooh, my nuts. Oh, because Peter's getting neutered.
Oh, wait, big news. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let the press hear ye. We got a man, Mazel. What happened?
Peter is getting neutered right now.
Yeah, take them balls, baby.
But see, that's what I was saying, is that I said, like, yeah, he's getting his nuts cut off, and I cracked.
The idea of cat nuts is so weird.
Nuts is hilarious.
I'm 99.9% sure that Peter is going to be a different cat after these balls come off. Because that fucker was sad. He is hyper.
He's a kitten.
He is a teenage boy.
He's a sweet baby kitten who needs a lot of love and affection. And
he's a maniac. He's a fucking maniac.
He's perfect.
Now that his cat nuts are gone. When Leo got his cat nuts chopped off, he diarrheaed everywhere. And then he kept running into everything with his cone. It was really sad, but really messy. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, it's not that I'm going to have diarrhea all over my house.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch out for that, but...
Well, I'm taking tomorrow and Wednesday off. None of this is interesting. Yeah.
Why?
Or Wednesday and Thursday. Because
That's tomorrow.
I'm taking pleasurable time for myself.
What are you going to do? You going to masturbate?
I might masturbate, but you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to go ride a bike in Venice. I know you do it all the time.
All the time. It's very cleansing.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like that. And then I might read.
Ooh. You have a lot of vacation days?
I have so many vacation days.
Really? Mm-hmm. Shit.
I only go home and I don't ever go on vacation, so I only go home like twice a year.
See, I do this thing when I take off, then I feel guilty for not being at work.
That's how I normally feel, but I'm trying to not do that.
That's what when I told you I was depressed, I jokingly walked in and was like, I'm depressed, but I think I am because right now it's like I'm in a very lazy, sleeping, don't want to do anything. Like after I record this, I want to go home and edit from home.
Yeah.
But is it okay? Like, I come from a family that's like, if you're not dying every day, pushing yourself and hustling to the limit, you're wrong and you're a piece of trash and you don't deserve anything you've gotten.
Boy, I empathize with that so much. I do also think, though, that it's kind of like, in the airplane when they're like, if the things fall down and you have to put the mask on, put your mask on first before helping others. If you're not taking care of you, you're not going to be able to do the work you want to do, right? Because the work really is second to you.
I guess it feels like it doesn't, I don't deserve an oxygen mask. Like, what do I have to be tired and depressed about right now?
It's not because of any certain thing. It's just a chemical imbalance.
I'm also not in therapy right now.
You're not in therapy and yeah.
You're on Prozac and in therapy and you're thriving.
I am not thriving, but I am on my way. Like, I smell like kitten litter.
Dude, I told you, like, you and your cat become one. At some point, you guys just morph into each other.
But I think that it's that idea of, like, feeling like you don't deserve something or being like, oh, I have to earn this or whatever. Like, that's... I hate when people say stuff like it hits home the most for me with when people say stuff about food and they'll like eat something and then they'll be like, oh, we got to go walk this off, and it's like, can't you just have a fucking burger and shut up about it?
Oof.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know it's hard. It's really hard, and I think that also it's just really it's rough to say, yeah, no, I'm worthy of just taking a day for myself.
And that's what, like, I guess I keep seeing this quote on Instagram about, like, self-care that's like, self-care isn't always like lush bath bombs and face masks and painting your own nails. It's like cutting a toxic friend out of your life. It's skipping work when you need it. And I guess there are levels of self-care because I feel like I do a good job of pampering myself. Like, I'm trying to always have, like, my hair did, my makeup's did, my, my aesthetic.
You.
Yeah, it feels like it's for everyone else.
Yeah. And for like the way they see you.
Yeah. And then I don't know, like I don't know, like I feel so shitty that I want to go home and like just be in bed because I know if I'm at home and in bed, I'm just going to want to be at work doing something. And I don't want to look back on this time in my life, especially when I have such an incredible opportunity like working here and like friends like you guys and like creative expression and energy, that I'm wasting it being depressed.
You sound exactly like how I sounded when I said all of this stuff in therapy before, and it's one of the most like disheartening feelings. So I remember like walking in the bathroom here, well at like the other office and walking in the bathroom and just being like, I could just stop existing right now and it would be fine. Like I could just, it would be a relief at that point. Yeah, it's hard. And so you think like that you just do, I don't know. Let me get my thoughts together because there was something that you said and I feel bad creating dead air, but what was the thing? Oh, okay. Something that like kind of helped me. It took a very long time for it to help me, but something that kind of helped was when my therapist was like, so there's like, you say should a lot, right? Yeah. And I do this truly all the time. Oof. Like I'll be, whether it comes down to ordering something on a menu or like what I should do that day, or what I want to do that day. So like I'll wake up and be like, well, I should go on a walk because if I don't go on a walk or a run or something, then I'm a lazy asshole, right? Or you could just listen to your body and trust yourself and know that you're a human being like everyone else on this planet. And you could just be like, what do I want? What does my body want? If that means you want to stay in bed and watch rom-coms all day or weird sci-fi movies all day, do it. And then, and that's just listen to what you want right now. And sometimes, and all of this is way easier said than done. Sure. So I hope you don't think that I'm being like,
no,
here are the answers.
Literally, I hijacked you feeling like your day off into like why I'm depressed.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, this is why we do this.
You deserve to talk about your feelings.
Fine, you're right. You fucking always are, you son of a bitch.
I know it hurts, always being so good and smart. But sometimes, and this is the worst feeling, is it really, you just have to be sad sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it just, last week I was having a real rough time. I was like PMSing, and I was just like, I can't do anything right now. I just have to, and I went home on Tuesday and just like laid down and I didn't like watch anything or read anything. I was just like, I have to like just feel this out, like feel it and write it out. So feeling bad is part of what we're able to feel as humans.
I guess it just scares me when it lasts longer than like a couple days. Like, you know, when it's just PMS sadness or when it's like work stress or like you go through a friend fight or something. Like, I can understand when it's like something on your brain, but when it feels like it's out of nowhere and for no reason and it lasts a couple days, that's when it scares me because that's like reminds me of the time when I was like the worst depressed, months in bed. Yeah. And so I get really scared and then I get defensive and then I get hard on myself for being like, don't you ever dare go back there. That's like it's a choice.
That's the disorder talking. That's 100% the disorder talking because I'll do that too. It'll just be like, oh, I'd like to do that. And the next thing it's like, so say like, oh, tomorrow I could go like down to the beach and ride a bike. What a great, like in my head, what a great opportunity to have to be like, oh, I'm feeling blue. I'm going to go do something pleasurable for me. So if I get sad or if I'm just like, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that and I'm wasting my youth and not doing this or whatever. Yeah. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I don't deserve to go. And then because you don't have that time to like play or to enjoy or to sort of refresh yourself, you cannot do the thing that you think you should be doing because you're empty. Yeah. You like don't have money. Yeah. You need like that, a little bit of self-reflection and just being a kid, like a little kid just playing.
And something you said too, like feeling like you waste your youth because we see shit on like Instagram and we see fucking YouTube celebrities living this like crazy life where everyone's a millionaire, everyone's like gorgeous looking, and if they're not, they have like the personality to carry it, and we feel like why don't we have that? Why aren't I them? And I think something you said is like, and I'm 27, so what I know is irrelevant, but I believe truly in what I've seen, especially in this industry, and I mean this could be applicable to across the country, especially I think in the US, is like, I don't think you really are happy and know your shit until you hit 30. Not trying to give it like an age limit, but the 30-year-olds that I know who have like kind of done their time of like figuring it out and like not getting lucky, but like truly living are happiest past their 20s.
Well, yeah, but I think that comes from like, this is the work area. 27 to struggle. 30 is like you're still like, we're still young, so nobody who's older than us is going to be like, oh yeah, poor you. You know what I mean? And then people younger are sort of like, I'm going to be different when I'm older. I'm going to have it figured out. And it's like, see you on the other side, buddy.
God, every year in my 20s has been a fucking shift, like a big monumental shift in either my like personality or my hormones or my friends group or something.
I think and that's what was crazy is that it was the same thing when my therapist was like, what do you do for joy or like for just pleasure, just for fun? And I was like, nothing. And then I don't know like the correct vocabulary that we used, but it sort of just came to me that like, oh, it really, you know how you would say like, I just want to shake you and make you feel better. I understood, like I heard people saying that. And when people say stuff like a very general phrase, but like figure it out, it's general unless you're on the other side of it, because I didn't realize that I started laughing in therapy because I was like, oh, I'm my own worst enemy. And then I started singing that Pink song.
Jesus, she needs to go somewhere.
I love Pink. What are you talking about?
I don't know. She's been doing the same. It feels like she's had the same song out for 15 years.
And she's been relevant.
Personal opinion. Maybe not popular.
Anywho, but then it's just that idea of like, oh, there was like a comfort in being like, you did this and this is why I'm like this and you're why I'm like this and you're why I'm like this. And then I think that you have to go through that and feel all that and be sad about it so you could acknowledge everything. And then you have to kind of, when you're ready, get to a point where you're like, oh, so because that person maybe said something to me in my youth or did something to me or whatever. And so now I see things in a certain way. Identifying the problem only gets you so far, and then you have to be like, oh, okay, you change now.
Yeah.
You change your perspective. It's literally just your perspective.
Yeah.
So, like, no one, if you were to say, like, oh, I edited from home today, or, like, I went home and, like, took a nap and then edited, or even I just went home and then I edited tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You just did what you had to do, took a bath. People would be like, baths are so nice and fun.
Took a bath. It's just a funny interjection. Took a bath.
Took a bath. I've just been really craving a bath, but I don't have a bathtub.
Yeah.
I just have a shower. But if you went and did that, nobody on the outside is going to be like, you don't deserve where you are. You don't deserve where you are. You just took a bath. Because you know what? That's dangerous. Cars need oil changes. My car, specifically, needs new transmission fluid, but it's... Fluid. God damn it. I'm falling apart.
No, you're actually
you stop to get
too much insight.
You have to reboot all of this stuff. You have to charge your computer. Like, no one says that's not a good computer or a good phone because you have to charge it.
God damn it, Kate. Why are you so fucking smart?
I really don't know, because it's also like, why am I so sad if I'm so smart?
I mean, I think it's, like you said, it's way easier said than done. And I think it's easier to also filter it through, it's a mirror, right? Like, you see yourself and you're saying what you would say to your friend, because I am your friend, but it's also, you kind of wish you could hear it too, or say it to yourself.
We should go to friggin' Palm Springs or something.
What? How did that end up as what we should do?
I've been trying to go to Palm Springs for a really long time. No, but I mean, like, take some time and just be like, what is it? Because I'm doing the same thing. It's really hard because I'm so used to being like, is this right? Am I right doing this? Is this right or wrong? Or is this, like, this person does this and so that's what I should do? When in reality...
you comparing yourself to other people and what they're doing.
Yeah, I think you could just take it. It's hard, but I do think that there is a way to learn how to just take a breath and be like, what is my honest reaction?
And that's been weird. Like, we've talked about this, but the end goal used to be, I think for both of us, like, happy. You have to be happy. You want to be happy. And, like, realizing that that's not, who said that that's the end goal? Like, who said that that's what we have to strive to be all the time? Because it's just denying yourself the ability to feel anything else, to recognize what true happiness is. It's so dangerous to compare yourself to others, because then you go like,
you'll never be that person.
You'll never be happy enough, and you'll never have what they have. You'll never be them. You'll never have their life.
And you're also not looking at them correctly.
And you're also not looking at yourself correctly. Like, missing so many great things about yourself.
Because I'm sure there are people who you look up to who are thinking the same thing about other people, right? And then you would just never assume that they feel, but that's like, it's very human. You're not alone in doing that. It's like one of the most common things that people do.
It's scary to realize that, like, what you think, what success looks like, your whole life changes. So, like, career-wise, I was like, I'm not this or don't have this by the time I'm this age. Like, it was always career.
But you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about then.
Yeah, and it's scary because it's like, whoa, maybe my whole life plan, everything I've always said since I was fucking whatever I could think about the future has always been, like, career. And then to now be like, oh, like, friends matter, like, love is important, and, like, family is the number one thing, and, like, traveling, and that's really scary, because then it makes me feel like, well, now I'm just lazy.
Why?
Because I'm not putting all my fucking eggs in my career basket anymore. Instead, I'm like, one for friend, one for having a fun time, one for traveling, one for taking days off. Instead of like my whole life, all I wanted to do was work.
Why?
Because that's what I was taught.
Okay. And then what about like, what did you think would happen what is the goal? What is the ultimate goal?
I like to be a millionaire.
But then once you're a millionaire, you might want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're going to have all this money and stuff, and then you're going to die.
And
you're
then
going to
have
be
no
like,
people. It's a classic tale of like money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does buy
a lot of stuff that make you happy
travel.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pills and stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But I definitely, because I struggle with that too, because I sort of have this thing in the back of my head where I'm like, well, if you start to figure out how to be happy right now, then that's the first step into settling for less than what you wanted in your career, or settling for less than what you wanted. But that is, again, I just feel like when you have this like toxic voice inside of you, it's almost like an abusive relationship with yourself and everything that you've been taught, that your pure self and your true self is trying to be like, no, no, and you know when it's right, but then you have, it's like, oh, you again. And you sort of like lean, you're like, all right, fine, here I am. I guess I'm just this shitty. And that happens to everyone. You like fall in and out of those moments with that voice. But I do think that part of this age is getting better at recognizing which voice is the good voice to really listen to, because I thought that too. Like my therapist said, she was like, until you learn how to be more compassionate with yourself, until you learn how to do all this stuff for yourself, you're never going to have a good relationship, because you won't be able to let someone in and tell them what you want, and it'll just be a bad relationship. And in my head I was like, fuck you don't know what you're fucking talking. And I said that to her. I didn't say it like mean. I was like, this is how strong that voice is. Yeah. Because it's the one thing that's always been constant.
Yeah, because it's ingrained in you from it's unlearning years, whether you realize it or not.
It's like Stockholm syndrome for your own meanness. You know what I mean? Your own like insecurities, because you've had happiness before and then it left. So you're like, well, I feel stupid now, instead of just, oh, I feel sad now. I think it's really important that if you don't like, and not a lot of people do this, but I think it's something that you have to like relearn when you're older, is to like stop and be like, how do you feel right now? Okay, why do you feel that way? Okay, maybe we need to sit in this feeling for a second. Let's just sit there. Let's reach out to a friend and be like, I'm feeling this way. And maybe not be like, here, I'm going to cheer you up. It's like, okay, let's do this together. Let me sit in this with you.
Not like shove it down way deep inside of me and drink it away because I'm Irish?
Exactly.
Oh.
And, I mean, if you want to do that, fine. But, yeah, I think that's like, another thing is to reach out for people and be like, because that's so fucking hard.
Yeah,
to be like,
for help.
Hey, I'm sad and I'm not entirely sure why, but I would love some company if you're around. And if that person has the bandwidth to do it, great.
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, I feel like that's the hardest part about it. It's not like if someone was like, oh, I'm so busy, but like, what else?
Ghost.
You know what else I just realized? This whole time it has been a perfect outline of my fucking tits on the camera. I'm sorry, children of the internet. That is
human body.
Terrible. Ask for help. Ask your friends for help.
Should we wrap up what we were talking about? Maybe like an intention is to like try every day to like wake up and be like, what do I want right now? What would make me feel good right now? Or how do I feel right now?
What if it's hit the snooze button and go back to sleep?
Do it. Face the consequences, but do it. But also, you've been in every situation you've ever been in, you've lived through.
Ooh, that's a good quote. You've lived through your worst moments and you're still here.
Yeah, because like say you hit the snooze button, and then say you're even late to a meeting and you show up and you're like, oh, God dang it, I'm so sorry. Maybe there'll be matters. It also doesn't matter. Like, you can't control how other people will react. Yeah. You could only paint inside the lines so much. At some point, you just have to... I remember I used to just be wild about things, where I would just be like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go, I'll make something up, I don't care.
Yeah.
But now I feel like happiness isn't really my end goal. I feel like now my goal is to try to be what?
I'm gonna tell a story.
Oh, okay. It's more like just to be honest and loving.
When you said the wild things you would make up, I did something so bad in college.
What'd you do?
I went to Auburn University, and I was in one of those history classes where there's like 100 people, they're like, the way they take attendance is by your seat. So literally, like, there's a TA that sits to the side, and their only job is to go through and mark who's there and not there based on like if you're in your seat or not.
Yeah.
So like, people did crazy shit. Like, they would send their friend in. They would try and, like, go sit in their seat and then go sit in someone else's seat. They would put a jacket so it looked like someone was sitting there. So many things. But they were so strict about your attendance.
Yeah.
And if you miss, like, 3 classes, you have to, like, take the class over again.
Saying I'm paying for the education. If I pay for all their education, then let me have it.
So what I did was I faked my grandma's death. And he was like, I need proof of the death.
Oh my God.
So
that's fucked up.
I printed up.
You wrote out an obituary.
No, I photoshopped a, like, program of a funeral.
Okay, so much terrible is happening in that story. Kelsey, what the fuck?
It was like
Is your grandma alive?
She did die eventually, but all grandmas die.
Everyone died. Oh my God.
I know. Dude, I told you it was bad. I was out of reasons to be excused from that class, and I thought, well, the only thing that you can 100% be excused from is a death in the family, and the only proof he needs is proof of death, so I just...
But that is, in itself, like, I'm more mad, like, it's horrible what you did. So truly horrible. But I'm more mad that they were like, we need proof.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that to somebody?
Because people like me are fucking assholes and fake their grandma's death.
Right, but that for the people who actually had a death in the family, then it's like, what if I went home, like, what if you lived a few hours from home and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, do you want my parents who are dealing with the loss of their parent to send a fucking program? Let me write this guy a letter.
I want to say his name was like Mr. Lawrence.
We don't have to call
I don't
him
know
out.
if he's still teaching at Auburn University, but hey, I dropped out of that college anyway. Who cares?
I used to miss a lot of class, a lot of school, and then I would just go in because I went to school for theater, so like I shouldn't have even gone to college. But I went in and I was like... I would go into classes and just be like, I need to talk to you. I missed. Okay, sorry, I'm just really embarrassed. And I would just talk about how I was depressed and why I had to miss the classes.
Wow, good acting skills.
Yeah, and I'd start crying and I'd be like, and I just don't want you to think it's because I don't respect you or respect the class, because I really do.
Wow.
I just, that's shittier. That's emotional manipulation.
No, it's not. But so was I in a way.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, maybe that school did pay off because that was some great acting.
Oh my God, thank you. They didn't cast me in anything because I didn't lose weight.
What?
No, that's not true. But they did. They were.
Sounds
that was like a
talking.
That was a thing that people said a lot. It was like no teacher outrightly said that, but there definitely was like a bias towards people who were thinner, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you just sucked.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, I had someone say that to me once.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why I didn't get picked for this part. Like,
yeah.
My voice is so much better than hers. And it was like, maybe you think your voice is better than hers, but like hers is actually pretty classical and perfect for this part. And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm just bad at singing. And then I quit singing.
Yeah. I saw other people act and they were trash.
You're really good. We're great. We're both great actors. You guys should watch our stuff. Adult shit. Okay, cool. Can we answer our fan queue?
Let's answer a fan question.
Okay. This one I thought was interesting.
Lord.
I know it's a little long. But stick with us because I'm interested in knowing what you think. Okay. Hi, Kelsey. Love the podcast. Never fail to catch you every week. You and Kate are boss-ass bitches. Thanks.
Let's get to the question.
And I feel like I need advice from some boss-ass bitches. So, I have a fuck buddy, and turns out some feelings have been exchanged. This is odd for me because I don't consider myself very emotional, but I do know it is out of fear of being hurt. What should we call him? I don't want to call him his real name.
Blade.
Blade is in the Navy and lives in another state. Warning flag, I know, but we visit each other constantly. I met Blade 10 years ago in high school because him and this girl, Kyla, were my best friends. They dated for a year after high school and broke up because he cheated on her. So safe to say
I wasn't listening. They were her best. Okay,
so yeah, she was best friends with these two. So safe to say he wasn't part of the friend trio anymore. We did the best friend thing. We talked shit about him any chance we could. Anyway, he joined the Navy and was deployed in Japan. We haven't spoken in 7 years, but I did miss him a lot because he was like my brother. Then... this past October, he hit me up saying that he was being transferred to the States. He was going to spend a month home before he moved, wanted to see me and catch up. I felt that there was no reason to stay mad at him. High school was years ago, and I figured, why not? He came to visit me in my new city because I moved a few hours from hometown, and it was great. We talked crap out, and it was amazing. Then he would keep visiting me, and one night we hooked up. It wasn't weird, it just felt right, and we kept being friends afterwards. He moved to his new base, but then he visits on weekends, and I visit when I'm not broke as fuck because of law school. When we aren't with each other, we sex, but
Good
then
for
we'll
you, girl.
Yeah, right. But then we'll go back to talking about our sports or something the next day. So we have this friends with benefits relationship, but I haven't mentioned anything to Kyla. We are so close, and I never kept anything from her or lied to her. That's my problem. I feel so guilty and like a horrible person. She's in a wonderful relationship with a guy. They live together, and he plans on proposing to her this year. She's completely overplayed, but says it was just a high school thing. But when I try to bring him up in a, hey, look who I talked to way, she always says something negative. He's changed a lot since high school, obviously, and he's shown me that he really cares about me. I've never had a boyfriend before because the whole unemotionally available thing and because of low self-esteem. But I feel comfortable with him and great with him, then I feel wallowed in guilt. I just don't know how to tell Kyla this, and should I wait? And if I should wait until things get more serious. Sorry, this is so long. I tried to condense as much as possible. So, long story short, this girl is now fucking / maybe getting into a relationship with her best friend's ex-boyfriend from high school who cheated on her. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's been 7 years since high school, so.
10 years since
10
high
years.
school. 7 years
10
since she talked to him.
Yeah. Whew. My initial thought, and I'm just going off gut reaction, if someone that I am best friends with was keeping something like that from me, and then it turned out to be someone that I had or still have or whatever opinions and feelings about, I think I would be pretty pissed. I think the sooner you tell her, the better, because the longer you wait, the more it's going to hurt, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there's also, like, when you mentioned having low self-esteem, and that's why you and emotionally unavailable and all stuff, other things like that I could totally relate to. And I think that sometimes there's a part of you that, because you didn't experience it when everyone else was experiencing it, there's a little, I'm not saying it is with you, but I've experienced this, like a little bit of a bitter part to me where I'm like, well, I never had anyone, so obviously I'm going to just have I'm going to go with this. Like, God, I never fucking get anything, and I get it. But I also think that that's your best friend, man. You gotta, and if you guys love each other really like that, she might feel weird about it, and like you can't control the way she feels about it, but also, I mean, if she's like engaged and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to say. That's a bit, I feel like a big part of it. If she was like single too, and you guys, you know, talk about dating and it's it's still very much a big part of like your day-to-day life of like trying to find dick or whatever.
Right.
But if she's really happy and she's really okay with her life now, which it sounds like she is, then I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as it would be if she was single and unhappy.
Yeah, and you also just, you have to take the situation as it is. She dated him. She has every right to be upset. She has more of a right to be upset now because you didn't tell her and you've been visiting him and hooking up with him and lying to her. I think that's going to be what she sort of says is the most upsetting thing, because that is probably the most upsetting thing. But there is also like a feeling of, there are people who like, I mean, just many of people who rejected me years and years ago, and I never even had a thing with them, that I'd be pissed if I found out that someone, like one of my friends was dating. Yeah. Like she's also allowed to get mad at it. So I think maybe don't look for a perfect situation. Like there might be a way where like nothing works out really the way you want it to. And yeah, I definitely think people could change. People could stop cheating or, you know, whatever.
That's the other thing is, like, if you got cheated on in your formative years, like, that will shape you as a fucking person.
Yeah.
And sure, like, looking back on it now, I look at the dudes who made mistakes or, like, were douchebags or whatever, and I'm like, that's because they were kids.
Right.
But it didn't happen to me. So, like, if I were her and maybe that, like, that having someone cheat on me at that age could mean a lot to her. And if it does, and it affected her in a way that like she can't look past the fact that he's a changed person, then maybe I would say like you have to decide what's more important to you, like your best friends, like, you know what I mean? What do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. And I think that there is also,
you might be able to see that he's changed and he's a different person, but she might not. And, like, I think she kind of has the right to feel that because it happened to her.
Also, I really don't want to be mean here, and I hope that this doesn't come off as mean, but if it were me, if I were the girl who got cheated on, and then I found out that my friend was, like, talking to this guy, I would be like, well, how long have you guys had this connection?
Ooh, shit.
Did you like him back when I was dating him?
Ooh.
Did you talk to him more when we were broken up? Like, how long have you been talking? Because I'm assuming you didn't tell her that you would, the extent of what you guys would talk about, because this didn't just happen sort of like out of nowhere. So I would be a little like wary if I were her about that. You know what I mean? And I think that you kind of maybe take a step back. And I know that everything's different. Like, where did she say she was from?
I forget.
Well,
the South?
Something like
Somewhere
that.
by naval bases.
So I know that in like a smaller town or whatever, it's like hard to meet new people. And so the idea of like, there's so many fish in the sea. It's like, no, there's not. There's fucking 500 people in my town. You know what I mean? So I totally understand being like, and I already know this person. And for someone who has a hard time getting into relationships or like is nervous and like emotionally unavailable, being with someone that you've met before and who you've gotten to know from a safe distance, I totally understand that appeal. It's just a very complicated situation now because your friend, I mean, there had to have been like feelings or something like that a while ago, right? Like there kind of had to be.
And two, like and this is going to be a shitty thing that just, whatever, I'm just going to say it, like there could also be some some like subconscious idea that like you have him now and not her, because maybe I think sometimes we do that as girls. Like I remember in high school when a popular guy would like my friend and then like nothing happened with them and then I'd be like, well, let me see if I can get it, because then like I'm better.
I think that there is a weird
flash my titty.
There's like a weird, and this isn't like this really isn't across the board. I'm assuming we're around the same age though, because the timeline feels like it matches up. But right now, what you're saying, it just doesn't sound like that person's your real friend. I'm sorry.
The guy or the girl?
The girl.
Oh.
Like it kind of like really, really feels like you're in a position where you're just putting yourself first, and that's not really that's a high school friendship. I'm going to be friends with you, but I'm still a little bit jealous of the stuff you have.
And if it's not, and she, it doesn't matter. Like you could tell her and she could be like, I don't give a shit. That was 10 years ago.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter at all. Like you got to kind of be prepared for what she's gonna say, and I think it sounds like the way you speak about her, that should matter the most is her reaction.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then maybe you look at the friendship and go like, what does this matter to me more than the guy?
I mean, how long have you been talking to this guy?
Couple months.
And so for a couple months you've been lying to your friend.
And also, he's in the Navy. He's going to get deployed. So you could just keep fucking him and not say anything and then just wait until he goes away.
Kelsey!
That's the unpopular advice to give to someone. And communication is so key. Like I said, like, you could talk to her and she could not give one single fucking shit.
Yeah.
Communication. You said you've tried to bring it up and she's always had negative things to say. But I would feel the same way about talking shit about a dude that... from my past, but like if I really were to get into it, and I think too, like if your friend's your friend, like she might be concerned about you being like, oh, are you sure, like, are you sure you're sure about this?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of, I don't mean to be so judgmental about it, but I do have like, I don't know, this could be a very outdated way of looking at things, but like, I mean, maybe you guys have a genuine connection, maybe you guys are like really getting along, and like you guys are supposed to be together even,
soulmates.
Or like for right now, if that's the case, then talk to her about it and fight for it. You know what I mean? Like stand by it, do what you have to do. It sounds like there's a lot of fear around it though. And you even said like warning flag about him being in a different state, which means like you don't really trust him. It kind of feels like you're setting yourself up for a lot of heartache, it kind of feels like. And I don't know him, so I don't know how he thinks, but I can't imagine someone would be like, oh, I'm going to date my ex's best friend and have a whole bunch of respect for that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it worth it to like what it might do to your friendship with your best friend?
Like, is that, does he talk to you about, like, is he like, you got to tell her, you know what I mean?
What does he think?
Because I think that
not that it matters, but I do want to know what he thinks.
But that is sort of telling of like the relationship that you're fighting for, that you could risk a friendship for. You know what I mean? Like if it's a true thing, then I think he would be like, you got to tell her. Like I want you to tell her. I want to be able to. She means so much to you.
Yeah.
There are these conversations that should be happening. You don't have to be in this by yourself. It just sort of sounds like you gotta start talking.
Yeah, we kind of went 10 different ways with how this could have gone out and just wanted to get all of our opinions out there. But my, like, final thing, my final piece of advice is you got to be honest with your best friend.
Yeah.
Please write us back. We want to know.
Yeah, I'd
what
love
happens.
to know more. Or, like, even if, because you said you condensed the question a lot, so maybe we do need more details.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to, like, be judgmental, but I also don't want to, like, coddle anyone's feelings when I think they're doing something kind of shitty. But we all do stuff that's shitty. I had a friend in high school who, oh my God, guys used to try to come through me to get to her.
Oof.
So I'd get home and I'd look on MySpace.
So sad.
And it would be, like, from this boy who I thought was really cute, really cute. And he'd be like, hey, how you doing? I'd be like, oh, it's on.
It's happening.
They'd be like, so your friend. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I would be like a little people pleaser. So I'd be like, I'm going to make it work for you guys. And I'd set them up. And then I would, like, when they would break up, I would be like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, try to still be, like, close with the guy, which is a sad person move. So I know we've all, like, you know, we've all been there. It's not like you're not a bad person or whatever. It's just, it's a human thing.
Yeah.
That
I don't
go
think,
through.
I don't think you should also make yourself feel bad about it because this is just life and it's already happened and it's already happening and you can't take anything back. So there's no point in making yourself feel bad.
Yeah. More than whatever
she's going to do to you. Okay. We hope that helped. Fucking A, I don't know, man.
I kind of want to, I want to call you.
I know, I want to, like, get you. Maybe we
should
could
get her on speakerphone.
Yeah, okay. Girl, if you hear this and
message us your number.
Yeah. If you want to be next week's episode, we want to call you and figure this out.
Yeah.
Should we do our shout-outs?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to give a shout-out to Molly Bear, AP Loves You, Pouty KB.
Unbreak my heart.
Can't use that. Meredith Power. Power or Power?
May to the A. Kimmy 593.
What?
And Jenny Boo _1.
Guys, you can follow me at Kelsey Dare on all the things.
You follow me at Kate Peterman on Instagram and at KAYTEPEA on fucking Twitter because somebody has at Kate Peterman on Twitter.
Buy it from them. I bought Kelsey Dare from someone on Instagram.
I just paid for Pete's new ring.
Okay.
That was an expensive purchase.
Guys,
he's running me into the ground with my finances.
Don't forget to tweet at Bonnaroo. Let them know you want to see us on their stage. Wait, do you have something else you said you wanted to tell me?
I don't know. Maybe it's just that I missed you.
I missed you, buddy. Love you.
Love you too.
Glad you're
Is this a sad episode?
Is this a sad? I don't think so. I think we're probably gonna have to title it like self-care or something. Self-care and falling back into depression. Guys, we just came up with the title on the spot. That's how we work here at Adult Shit with the One, the podcast where we fuck up so you don't have to. And we'll see you next week, babies.
Yeah.
Fucking bye.